So people ask me all the time, hey Chris, how can I actually read the news? What are the news? How come you always say avoid three-ball news if you want to make money with day trading? So what I'm going to be doing in this specific video is that I'm going to be talking about the three-ball news and explain you why and how they can affect your trading sessions and how you can actually avoid losing money when there are news. Are you ready? If you're new to my channel and you're into binary options, Forex trading, crypto trading, or any type of making money online, this channel is for you. Make sure you hit that subscribe button below and activate the notifications bell icon so that you are one of these 46,000 subscribers. So that being said, let's jump into the video. In this world of Forex trading per se, you can trade with stocks, you can trade with Bitcoin, you can trade with global currencies, you can trade with commodities, you can trade with gold, so on, and so on. And the truth is that when it comes to actual global currency and Forex trading, it's kind of complicated because we depend on certain news that I'm going to show you right now. And the complicated part comes along when their actual consistency of the news in certain currencies. And right now I'm going to explain you how to read them, how do they affect, and how you can actually avoid them, or at least some ways that you can avoid those three-ball news or make money even during the news in the market. But it's definitely not the same as buying and sharing stocks, because in the end, you can see one Apple computer news every 6 months or something like that. While in the global currencies, you can see news all over the place every single day. So right now, this is what we're going to take a look at. And the first thing that you got to know is where you can actually see these news. Now, I'm going to have the direct link below in the description of this video. But if you want to do it on your own, this is what you need to type in: investing.com. Investing.com. Once you actually are there, what you need to do is go over here where it says news. Just put the mouse on it. Don't click on it. Just put the mouse on it and then go to economic calendar. Once you click in there, you're going to see this specific list that you can see with the currency initials, such as the Singapore currency, the Great Britain pound, the US dollar, the Canadian dollar, and so on. What is it that you need to take a look at the level of stars? They used to call bull because they were actually a bull hand before. Right now, I don't know what they changed. I don't really care, but you can actually hear when I say three-ball news. But right now, I think I'm gonna just focus on high volatility news so that we can avoid the confusion, because they don't actually use bulls anymore. So what we're gonna be using is stars. But what is low volatility in the news on certain currency is when it's just one actual star. And if you actually put the mouse on top of it, you will read where it says low volatility expected. This doesn't really mean that the pair is not going to move at all. It just means that it's just going to slightly be moving, or is not going to be affected according to the trend that it's already having. That's number one. If you go to stars, the two stars, it says moderate volatility expected. So I would call it medium volatility or regular. Well, it's not regular. No, medium volatility is actually good, because in the end, if I actually call it almost no volatility, people would think that it's not going to affect the market. But sometimes even two stars might affect the movement of the actual pairs. And the last but not least is actually this one, which is, well, right now there are no, let me go ahead and see if I can show you three ball. Okay, 3 stars right here. It says high volatility expected. Now, one of the coolest things in regards to investing.com and so that you are able to actually check the news, because there are many websites out there where you can actually check them. But the reason why I actually like it is because first, you can change to your current time right here where it says current time. Right now, if you notice, it says 11:46, but my actual current time is 9:46. Why? Because this is actually set for Eastern time, like by default. So what I need to do is actually look for my actual time, which is right now Mountain time. So once I actually click in there, it's gonna change. It's gonna show me right here my actual current time, which is 9:47. Once I actually have my current time, then these times right here are actually going to reflect what real time in my schedule are going to be the news. So for instance, right now we have that at 0 hours, like at midnight, we're gonna have a high volatility movements on euro thanks to the German news. So at 2 a.m. is gonna happen the exact same thing. Then at 8 a.m. and this is where it gets complicated, because for instance, myself, I trade around 7 a.m. to like 12 p.m. at the most. Mostly it's like around 10, 11 a.m. So when you see the 3-ball news the high volatility expected at 8 a.m., then usually what happens is that you actually have your hands tied and you're not able to trade because of the volatility, right? Well, no, you're wrong. Yes, there are ways to actually trade with it. What is it that you do? You trade with other currencies that are not the ones that had volatility in their pair. So for instance, right now, if US dollar has a high volatility in their trades, then what I would do is that I would just focus on euro, focus on Canadian dollar, focus on Japanese yen, focus on New Zealand dollar, and so on. Does that make sense? So we avoid, when I say just avoid 3-ball news, when you actually heard that expression, how to avoid 3-ball news, this is exactly what I meant. It's just that now there are stars and we're gonna call it high volatility expected. Okay, now how can these news really affect your trading? Right now, obviously we can see the future, but what I'm gonna do is that I'm actually looking at my calendar, the last week's trades, and I'm gonna hit apply and it's gonna show me all the news. So we're gonna look the first high volatility. Okay, we have this one right here, Monday 17th. And high volatility expected. So we actually look at that pair on TradingView. Now that we actually found it, I'm actually looking at a 1 hour, but I'm gonna move it to 15 minutes because in 1 hour it's gonna be hard to actually tell. On TradingView, at the bottom of the page, whenever you actually move in the mouse, you will see that it shows the date and time. So right now, where I'm actually right here, I'm at August 19th, 2020 at 8:15. This 8:15 is actually not my local time. This is GMT. What is GMT? UTC time, whatever you want to call it. You can see it right here in the corner. It's actually showing right here on what's it called, TradingView. You can actually change it if you want to. In fact, right now I'm going to change it so that I can just go ahead and show you what is it that it looks like. I'm choosing El Salvador because it's the same time, not because I've lived there. And let's go ahead and see. So what we look at right now is actually at the exact date. Was July 17th, right? July 17th, August 17th, and it was at 19:30 p.m. 19:30 p.m. It's around right here. Let me go ahead and draw something in here. Around right here. We can see that this one was not really that affected. Now, one thing you should know is that news can affect you from 30 to 1 hour prior to the actual news, and 30 to 1 hour after the news were actually reflected. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it will show right here. But if you notice, it was a cool uptrend all over here and you were like, yeah, I'm making money and so on. And then boom, at this time, it started dropping. So this one wasn't really affected. It's not guaranteed though that whenever there are news, there's gonna be like a huge impact on everything. No, it's not necessarily a must, but it's something that might happen. That's what we want to avoid. Let's go ahead and take a look at a different pair. This was just AUD NZD, by the way. It could be AUD CAD. Let's see, the 17 right here, 1930. No, I don't think these news actually really affected that much. So let's go ahead and take a look at USD This was building permits at 6:30 a.m. on Tuesday. So let's go ahead and take a look at USD CAD, for example. USD CAD on the 17th, 1930, where is it? No, it was 18 at 6:30, right? Right here. Take a look at this. So this, if you notice, it was affected by the 3-bull news. This was a regular downtrend and everything was smooth and clean and you were like, okay, I'll make you money. Boom. This started jumping right here. Take a look. Boom. Even like 2 hours after, because the news were shown right here. And then after the news finished, then boom, we had this huge jump. So let's say just as the bad luck that you had, that you enter for a sell option in this area and you were like, okay, so yeah, I have everything cool. This is my stop loss. This is my take profit. Or maybe your take profit obviously was a little lower and you were like, yeah, it's dropping a lot. So I'm definitely gonna be in the money, and boom, guess what happened here? It touched the stop loss. So these are the kind of things that could happen when there are high volatility expected in the market. And that's the reason why you shouldn't trade when that's happening. Now, how can you avoid these news? It's very simple. These news usually affect short-term periods, which means 1 to 2 hours at the most. So for instance, if you're looking at let's take a look at a 1 hour pair or 1 hour chart. We're gonna look at that specific, what was it? 17, right? 17, no, it was the 18. Around right here, the 18 at 6 a.m. right here. Do you think it affected that much? Well, even though the next candle did affect a lot, but your levels are way different when you're actually trading with 1 hour candles, right? Because the actual take profit and stop loss are actually wider, so you have a better chance to actually be in the money and make more money, right? So in 1 hour candle, it didn't affect, right? You go to 4 hour candle. Oh, okay, I'm sorry, because I have a different thing right here. Gonna ignore the other levels. This is the level that you're looking at. In 4 hour candle, it didn't affect that much, right? In 1 day candle, it didn't really affect at all. It didn't care. It was a bearish candle and it still was a bearish candle at the end of the day. So how is it that you can avoid these news to actually lose you money? For instance, my biggest recommendation is that you actually trade in a longer terms, which is daily chart, 4 hour chart, at least 4 hour charts, even though I would say just 1 day chart. It's fine. That's number one. And number two is that if you're trading with shorter term periods, then I suggest you that you stick to 1 hour before and 1 hour after the news in that single pair. Okay, so if it's USD, don't trade any USD pair. If it's GBP, don't trade any GBP pair. If it's like this one right here, if it's Euro, don't trade any Euro. If it's CAD, don't trade any CAD. If it's CNY, don't trade any CNY. And I think you get my point. So bottom line, people, this is the explanation in regards to the news, how they affect you, how they affect the market, and how you can actually use them, avoid them instead. There are some people that actually use the news in their advantage. I don't really do that. That's fundamental analysis, and I actually rather do fundamental plus price action and technical analysis, and that's the reason why I stay to 1 day charts. And unless the world is actually like going to an end, like it happened right now with the virus and so on, the technical analysis and the fundamental analysis combined will just tell me the direction of the pair no matter what. So I hope this video really helps you, and that you can actually start managing a lot more the high volatility news. And if in case you guys have any questions, you can put it in the comment section below. But hey, if you found value in this video, make sure you smash the like button. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel and you want to learn more about day trading, then hit that subscribe button below. Thank you for watching. I'll see you on the next one.